Hi, I'm Tucker Thompson from T2P TV, and this year is particularly special as we celebrate the event's silver anniversary. It all started in 1965 with 175 boats competing, and this year will eclipse that number with 182 boats sailing in what is sure to be a historic week.
This is Lee Reichert. I'm the Vice Commodore of the Storm Trysail Club and the Race Week Chairman this year. Block Island Race Week started in 1965. Jacob Isbranson, who was Commodore then, had just competed in the Cows Week in England. And he came back and got together with Ed Morris, and they decided, wow, we need to have a U.S. version of Cows Week. They came out here and they started Race Week. And the whole idea was compete like crazy on the water, but then come in and have a drink and really have a good time. We have Black Watch here, which was here in the first race week, and you look at her and compare her to the latest Carkeek 40, and you say, wow, there really is a difference in what sailing is then and what sailing is today. But guess what? The sailing is still wonderful here, and the basic of the event is still the same.
Another thing that hasn't changed over the years are the racing conditions here in Block Island, and this week is no exception, with sunny skies and sea breezes forecast over the next few days. We begin at the top mark with IRC1, and in the lead it's the United States Naval Academy's Corsair, skippered by Andy Beeler. Steve Benjamin is a big supporter of the new HPR class, steering his boat Spooky in second place, boat for boat, and it's going to be a run between those two downwind. And it's New York City's Mark Glimcher at the helm of Catapult in third place. Usually the top pro sailors in the world have to wait an entire career to get a ride on a TP52, but here the Naval Academy midshipmen get to do it in college. What a ride. Spooky the Carkeek 40 sets a stay sail. 3 sails better than 2? We'll see. Downwind. Back at the top mark with the Swan 42s, 11 of them strong, and it's Andrew and Melissa Fisher's Bandit out in front with a beautiful set. 7 boat lengths back are the rest of the fleet, and that's the real race while the leader sails on uncontested. Behind the Swan 42s is IRC2 next at the top mark, and out in front is the Cat Came Back, Link Mossop, a veteran of so many Block Island race weeks. With downtime up from Annapolis, Maryland on their heels. The right-hand side seems to have more breeze, and that's where we find the majority of the Swan 42s heading to the leeward mark. Bandit seems to like the right-hand side as well as she leads the fleet back upwind. We're at the leeward mark with IRC4, and Ralph DiMattia's Shamrock Sensation is out in front. Soulmate luffed up the U.S. Naval Academy's Navy 44 and broke the overlap just in time before the leeward mark. And it's a close battle here at the leeward mark between Old School and Avalanche. And finally, it's into the finish with IRC1 and the U.S. Naval Academy's offshore sailing team's Corsair takes line honors.
Thank you.
We move inshore to the Blue Fleet. This is race 2, top mark for Perf 1. Arthur Burr's Leverage is out in front. Afar 30, Amelgus 32, Goombay Smash just barely in front. Their second place boat for boat, my friend Willem Van Wey calling the shots. Tough to see from here, but Menace was pinned to leeward until they tacked onto port. Simultaneous tacks has them rounding in front of the dark blue boat behind. Good move. Now, left was the way to go upwind, better breeze inshore. So now we see the entire fleet holding on starboard and heading that way downwind. Left side is also where we see Team Afterglow from Easton, Connecticut. They just plugged in the spinnaker on deck. It's port ley line for them from a long way out. Just behind them, Blue Toe finds a spot on the port ley line as well. They'll head into the mark that Jeffrey Preber left behind a few minutes ago. Well out in front is Renegade. The fleet behind's a bit more spread out across the course. There are righties filling in. Here is our leftmost boat, Perf 3, plugging in the spinnaker for the set. But Brad Porter's Accelerate made the right-hand side work early on. Now he's shifted into a nice lefty and approaches the ley line. Porter holds off the bigger boats downwind. For the 16 boats sailing in the J80 North American Championships, the fleet is split perfectly. Half of them inshore to get out of the tide, the other half heading offshore to the right. The breeze is picking up, and so is the incoming tide, pushing these boats well past ley line for the leeward mark, and that screws up their timing, as you can see here for Afterglow. No jib up. And we're heading upwind with a kite now. The guys up on the bow are going to try and unclip that sheet and guy, spike it away. Good effort. Oh, let's see if he can get it done. Oh, no, they're not going to spike it away. They're going to actually get a handle on that thing and pull it down. Here we go. You got 3 guys pulling it down, nobody pulling the headsail up. This is going from bad to worse here. Now, they're in the lead of their class. This is going to give the trailing boats an opportunity to catch up. Oh no, it's the same problem in the exact same place. This time for Snowbird, they'll take the left-hand gate, but not quite head upwind. That red spinnaker sitting atop the rig, and the jib is only marginally on its way up. One person, well, 2 people working on it. I think I'd send a few more up front. There it goes. Now they've finally got it under control. It's the Late to Drop Club, and our 2 founding members are already heading back upwind. Here comes another one who's decided he'd like to be sponsored for membership. Now that opens the door for Scorpion. The black boat to the right. Beautiful job getting inside. Now, in order to join this club, you have to get noticed. And I promise one way to really get noticed is to make sure your spinnaker and your crew shirts are as bright as possible. Love the color. Now, it looks like these guys might join the club as well. The helmsman rounding upwind. The spinnaker is not going to make a jenniker. Oh, hold on. We're gonna go back downwind, get a handle on it. I do like the roller furlough, though. They get style points for that. Oh, and there's a boat who's definitely not going to make the club. Nice rounding. Finally, the J80s make their way downwind while the rest of the fleets work back upwind. Into the leeward mark, it's Clark McKinney's Knee Deep leading the J80s. He's up from Solomon's Island, Maryland, and choosing the left-hand gate will get them inshore out of the increasingly foul current. Finally across the finish, our leader in Perf 1, and that's actually Celeritas, the Melgus 32, first place. And so as day number 1 winds down here in Block Island, the question on everyone's mind now is whether the famed Round the Island race, which is always a traditional part of this regatta, will be tomorrow. The fleet never knows until the morning of when the race committee makes the call, but there's a rumor it could be tomorrow and the weather would be perfect for it. We'll have to wait then to see. I'm Tucker Thompson from T2P TV. We'll see you tomorrow.